Hi, this is Laura with Laura's View and Tarot 2.
And Lady D from Oracle of Delphi and Soul Therapy with LadyD.com.
We're here with the latest edition of Nicely Spicy, where we talk about current events, do a tarot investigation into one or two of those events, and just enjoy each other's company and banter in the process. Hi, Lady D.
How are you? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was okay, which, for me, that's great. I'll take okay any day. Holidays can be a little stressful trying to get all the dishes ready at the same time and getting all the players at the table at the same time and everything else. So an okay holiday is fine with me. How was yours?
Same thing. Okay, nice and quiet, which I will take with my crazy family. Yes.
My grandson spent Thanksgiving night with me, and then because there was no school or daycare options on Friday, I got to say, by the time he went home on Friday, I was ready for a rest. I really was. So,
Exhausted.
yeah, no, semi. Um, we've had a busy week in the news, and I'm going to mention a few things, and if I forget anything, you chime in too, okay? Now, the big thing in the news, the thing that
Okay.
was our distraction of the week, and I hate to say that because there was a genuine loss of life involved, but it did knock a bunch of things out of the headlines, which may have served the purposes of players of one sort or another, was the shooting of the National Guardsman in Washington, D.C. So that was the biggie. But I wanted to talk about some of the things that bumped out of the news cycle or that just maybe haven't hit the mainstream as much as the alt media community. Okay? Well, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, the EBS chatter has been extensive. There's been people that are just sure the big EBS announcement that's going to signal worldwide, stay in, here's the truth, the disclosures are here, deal with them, is coming. And what I have discovered is over the last few weeks, there has been some hacking of the EAS systems where in regions they have gone off. And I think that might have sparked people's hope into thinking that the big one's coming, that was a test. And really, what they're doing is needing to put up more firewalls and make those systems non-hackable. So the EBS chatter, I mean, Operation Disclosure, at least the way I read it, Thanksgiving, she said, like, goodbye, this is my last one till after the EBS. So I thought, wow, she's really sure that there's a big event coming. And then yesterday, the Operation Disclosure was out again. So maybe I misread it, but to me, it sounded like she was so sure that she wasn't going to do another one until after the big event. So the EBS chatter's been extensive. So that's number one. And then the Epstein files, there was a glitch. I'll try not to laugh at this because, like I said, I've got a real heart for the victims. Okay. But they were supposed to have a huge, huge drop of intel. And now they're saying the FBI is spending $1 million in man hours, and they have, this is their exact name, a special redaction project. Originally, the way the bill passed, they were only supposed to be talking about the only names that were supposed to be removed were victim names. And now they're saying, well, yes, and the ones that are actionable. And I think that's BS because if they were going to take some action against these people, they would have already. So put the names out there and then go ahead with the action. It's one more time
Exactly.
that I think this is turning into, the binder thing. It's an Epstein binder, the digital edition, but they're saying it was a technical glitch that stopped the full release, and they'll have it out later this month, if except for the things that Pam Bondi is deciding shouldn't be in there, the names that shouldn't be in there. So, or the DOJ. What do you think of that?
I'll say, you said BS. I'll say bullshit. It is. It's just another like the friggin' Binder Gate 2.0.
Yeah, yeah,
What the fuck? I'm sorry. It's like just release them. Just release them. If they didn't plan on releasing them, why bring them up? They've been talking about this for almost a year now. It's
yeah,
either put up or shut up.
yeah. You
Seriously now.
you've got all the information. There's no new information. Well, there's more information. Well, there's information, but we're going to redact some of it. I'm just tired of it. And oh, the biggie that
Me
gets
too.
me is yes, but the entire government could crumble if the full list is out there. So maybe the government needs to do some crumbling.
Let it burn.
Yeah,
Yes,
burn, baby, burn.
exactly.
Absolutely. Okay, another thing that
Exactly.
didn't make the news cycle on the 24th, there was a UAP drone swarm in New Jersey at the Picatinny Arsenal. That's you're closer to that than I am, so I don't know if you heard anything about that, did you?
No, I didn't hear about this, and I'm usually hip to the UAP stuff. That's my
Yeah, yeah,
specialty.
a drone swarm was over the arsenal. The government is trying to say that it was just intended maneuvers, blah, blah, blah. But the locals are saying no, they were scrambling. It was not an expected event, and the locals are saying no, no, no. It was not what it's being passed off as. So. Yeah, so that was something that got bumped off the news cycle because remember the 26th was when the shooting occurred. Then
Hmm.
last week, the space object 3I Atlas had some more anomalies noted, some things it was doing that aren't consistent. It's now known that there are over 12 anomalies. NASA tells us, again, the government tells us that 3I Atlas is just a comet. They go on to say it's got 12 anomalies to it that no comet in the history of mankind has ever had, but it's still just a comet. So I've done a little reading on that way back. You've probably done some too, but I just thought you'd like to know that 3I Atlas had more anomalies noted to what it does. And that got squelched in the news cycle. And just further information on December 19th, it will be passing as close to the Earth as it's going to come. You won't be able to see it with the naked eye, but it will be closest to Earth on December 19th. So I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I think there's going to be some big things happening then.
Yeah. The White House website, whitehouse.gov, has started a media offenders section tab. You go to media and it's there. The current and they that what they do is with facts and information, they say what the big story is that the mainstream's getting wrong and they clear it up. Right now they're talking about the seditious six. So, and the fact that President Trump has not crossed that line into giving unlawful orders to the military. So that's the current one that's in there. But yeah, there's a hall of shame. I mean, they should have had it a long time ago, I think, because even if the other side of the aisle is in office, I'm sure there's misreporting that happens no matter who's in the executive office.
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
they should have always had that there. I think. I think it's high time it was. It's a shame it took till 2025 to think of that. So,
Exactly.
and then as a result, following the tragedy on the 26th in Washington, D.C., Trump has canceled all of the Biden auto pen orders, and he has suspended immigration from third world countries until there's increased vetting of those that are here, deportation of those that shouldn't be here, and so that's one of the biggies that's going on. And then
Hmm.
the last thing I had was that there's a lot of rising tensions between the US and Venezuela. What I'm reading is that the Venezuelan president is feeling like he's kind of doesn't have any allies, and nobody's coming to his aid as these tensions increase. And President Trump has said told airlines and drug traffickers, etc., to consider the airspace over Venezuela a no-fly zone. So it does what he's saying is, you need to come to the table and let's talk, or there's going to be a lot of consequences coming on, I think. What do you think?
Absolutely. And, these people, especially on the left, and these people there, it's like what he's doing with shooting the pirates and shooting shooting the boats. There, he's murdering people. That goes against. I don't. What are they talking about? These people are gangsters. These people are drug dealers. They're bringing fentanyl into our country. I don't understand why people are more concerned about the drug dealers and their cartel members than the United States citizens that potentially could be killed by these drugs. I just don't get it.
Well, I actually get that a little bit because the Coast Guard has always had procedures for stopping ships with contraband, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
make headlines. So, first of all, I think President Trump and um, Pete Hegseth are making a mistake by making these media moments. They should just
Mm-hmm.
quietly be getting business done, number one. But the Coast Guard protocols have always been, to search and board, etc. And then if there's resistance, then they've sunk more craft than has happened with this administration, but they do it quietly and they follow a
Mm-hmm.
procedure. And I think if there's any resistance, yeah, but what they're doing is I think they're making too much of it into a media moment, number one. And number two, I think they ought to be using some of the protocols that have been used with the Coast Guard throughout the years. Again, with an eye to stopping the traffic and making that you've got to have the price they pay for that kind of stuff be higher than they want to pay. Anytime you
Yeah.
want to change a behavior or stop a flow of goods or whatever it is, the consequences have to be too stiff. So I know they're increasing the consequences, like try us. But I think they should be giving, like I said, just following the protocol that the Coast Guard has successfully used for years and years. And that protocol does, like I said, it includes if there is resistance or armed resistance, especially, then you blow the craft out of the water, but you can show why you did it.
Yeah. Well, they should show all of it then, because it's if there is a protocol that they're not abiding to, then that's bad. However, and if you're right, if they're just showing the videos before this, like this whole media frenzy, then show the full video. Show that, they did try to do the right thing. The Coast Guard did try to stop them, but then there's resistance, and that's why they blew them out of the water.
Which is what the Coast Guard's done with these boring little press releases. As a result of this action, this many 100 pounds of drugs were, recovered or destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
and opposing forces were neutralized. Just have it be very boring. But the thing is we're told that we're told it's like it bothers me when they say trust the plan. Tell me the plan before you tell me to trust it. You're telling me that you have got solid evidence for what you did. I believe that. I really do. I'm not questioning that. But since you can't share the evidence with me, don't share the blow up moment either. Okay? Just do a boring thing based on it, confirmed intelligence. This action was taken on this date.
Yeah.
Neutralized parties included 17, blah, 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 and this many pounds of, and one craft. And just bore the MSM out of having that be, in the news cycle. So
Yeah.
maybe someone will
Yeah.
watch this that has a little clout and input and run with that idea. So that's what I brought to the table. Did I miss anything you wanted to mention?
Well, this whole thing with Minnesota and the Somalis and Tim Waltz, that's quite interesting. And did you hear today there was a whistleblower that came out and said, I don't know if it was the Attorney General's office. I forget. It was some official department in Minnesota that said that there was whistleblowers that notified Tim Waltz that all of this scamming fraud was going on, and the whistleblowers were intimidated and they were treated poorly. And
Mhm.
that I can never pronounce her name. Ilman Omar is all over this, and now they're saying Trump saying that he might deport her. And then I'm curious as to the whole Boeing plane debacle that happened last week with, with the solar flares and the Airbus and the whole upgrading. Do you really think that they upgraded all the planes to standard and on time
That quickly.
that
I,
quickly? Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. They
Yeah.
grounded them and got them back up in the air as fast as they could. But yeah, did they get their fingers caught not doing maintenance, and then that's why they had to, or did something happen to the electronics? That's an interesting situation, isn't it? But
It
Minnesota,
is.
oh my gosh, I'm so glad I don't live there. So,
Oh, awful, awful. I feel so bad for those people that live there.
when I lived in Alaska, they said that the ones that didn't fail at moving to Alaska were quite often people from Minnesota because they were used to a harsh and long winter. So it didn't stop their efforts to relocate. Um, but wow, the ones that are there now, they can stay there. Alaska doesn't need them. So including that awful governor of theirs.
Oh, Tampon Tim. Oh yeah, you gotta love him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no, he's Minnesota. Yeah, he's Minnesota, right? Yeah, that's right. Tampon Tim, not Alaska, Minnesota. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to pick a topic and read on it. And I think, and I didn't have one picked. I tried to just, if you're watching this, so you know, folks, we don't talk about the items till we get on camera. And so that we just so that it's genuine first time, give and take banner and chat about it. And in this today, I didn't even have a favorite topic, but I think what I'd like to do, because I have had a number of viewers say, Laura, do you think the EBS is going, a global large scale EBS is going to happen soon? I think I'd like to read on that just to give people a little peace of mind. Intuitively, I'm going to stick with what my stance has always been, that unless the cards tell us different, that if there is an EAS, because it's not called EBS anymore, if there is an EAS event, it's going to vary in what's needed to be shared from location. Like New York City is going to need a whole different kind of set of instructions and an action plan than my little town of, 1,000 people in northern Maine. So I think it's going to vary from place to place as to what's involved with it. But I'd love to have the cards say, yeah, an event that is going to need some widespread disclosures is happening. We'll find out. I'll make that a yes or no part of my question, okay?
I love it. We need to know because it's the end of the year and we've been promised this and we've been expecting this. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a good topic. Absolutely.
Okay, what we'd like to know is the EAS system that um, there's one of some sort or another worldwide, but let's focus on the United States for this question. Is there a near future strong possibility of an EAS announcement that will involve disclosures of crimes, etc., not just your usual um, flooding or weather event or things like that? Can we anticipate one happening in the near future, plus additional insights and information? Okay, we've got the Two of Wands, Hierophant, Five of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Tower, another five with the Five of Swords, and the Magician. Okay, we don't have a hard yes for this question, but we do have a confirmation that in the near future, there is going to be some sort of large event that may make that happen. I'm going to quickly um, reshuffle the deck, and let's do since we got the Tower moment is in the near future, what I'd like to ask is, okay, the cards just indicated that the near future, the United States can expect a Tower moment, which might make a manifestation of the EAS um, occur. Is this Tower moment happening in the next, let's say, within the next calendar year as we recognize the calendar plus additional insights and information? This will be a 5-card quickie. Okay, we got the Four of Wands. We've got the 10 of Cups. We have an Ace. So within the next year, we got a Tower event happening in the United States that might give cause or need for a EAS system to be activated. Queen of Pentacles, and then the outcome is Knight of Swords, which is my white hat Trump card. So yeah, within the next calendar year, we can expect a Tower moment, which would make it likely that the EAS system would be used. So a quick recap. I first asked the tarot deck if an EAS announcement or use of widespread EAS was something that we could anticipate, and additional insights and information. And for the near future, we got the tower moment, which isn't a yes, but it says tower moment means huge change of events is happening. And the magician card was an insight card saying that it might be where we would see that happen. So I quickly did a second, just a 5 card thing and said, you've indicated a tower moment is coming to the United States in the next year. Would that tower moment occur? Or should we be expecting it? We got an Ace of Swords saying absolutely yes. And basically, when that tower moment comes, it's going to be one that actually causes a lot of celebration. So it didn't show like death and doom and gloom, but this tower moment that's coming is one a lot of people have been waiting for and are going to be celebrating.
I love it. Woo! I love it, Laura. I do. I think we're all ready.
Oh
I think
yeah,
we've all practiced patience, and I know that patience is not my strong suit, and we're ready. We're so
absolutely.
ready.
Absolutely. So what do you want to dive a little deeper into? Is it going to be Minnesota or one of the other ones?
I think I want to do the planes because I feel that that's very important. People are going to be traveling in December, and I feel that people need to know that they're going to be safe and what the deal is with the
Or if they
planes,
should plan.
especially because exactly if they should plan, and especially with all of the incoming solar flares, they expect some major, major CMEs. So I think we should know if they really took their time and upgraded the planes.
Yeah. Yeah. Or did they
Someone read
just get
about that.
caught not doing routine maintenance and it was a CYA type of thing. I'm wondering, but the cards will tell us. So I'm going to
Exactly.
let you get to it.
All right, great. All right, so we're going to ask about the planes. Did they really do the much required upgrade and maintenance? And did they take their time? And are the planes really safe? Safe enough to withstand all of the CMEs that have been happening and are going to happen in December, which is the corona mass ejections or emissions. So let's ask, Holy God, in the name of Yeshua, did all those that are working on the Airbus, did they take their time? Did they do the much needed upgrades? And more importantly, and most importantly, is it going to be safe for people to travel? And will the planes, more specifically, the Airbuses that they spoke about, that they took out of commission, will they be able to withstand the massive CMEs that are going to be coming into our atmosphere in December? So are the planes upgraded? Are they safe? Are they going to withstand the CMEs that are coming? What say you, Almighty God? And of course, anything else that will bring clarity and understanding to this question. What say you, Holy Spirit and Yeshua the Christ? Let's find out if it's safe to travel, folks. Okay, we got the King of Swords, Star card, King of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. I'm going to try to make it so they're a little more clear. It should be a little more clear. All right. So the first card that we got is the King of Swords. So right off the bat, I'm getting there. It was truth in what people were saying about the planes. They weren't very safe. There was some sort of, let's say, I'm getting that they are safe. It is safe to travel now, but I'm getting that kind of what Laura said at the beginning is that they didn't really do the necessary, let's say, they didn't do the necessary precautionary measures that they should have done at the beginning. I'm getting that not all the airlines took the time. They never expected the CMEs and they never expected the electronics to dysfunction and go out of just totally give out the way they did. Okay. So I'm getting that they have done the upgrades. They did take the time. Okay. Now we got the star card. So with the star card, there's that is hope and faith, and it means that everything was exposed. So I am getting because of the massive exposures with them, let's saying that one of the planes almost crashed. All right. It was in a really precarious position. So I'm getting that yes, because of that, let's say, mishap, everything was exposed, and because of the exposure, and they don't want people to be afraid and not fly, and because they don't want to lose money, yes, they did take the time to make sure that they did do the proper upgrades and maintenance. We also got the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is I'm getting whoever is in charge of the FAA, whoever's in charge. I'm getting a male in particular. He was very disconcerted, and he made sure to get in touch with all the airlines, get in touch with Boeing. So whoever's in charge of Boeing, I'm getting in particular he was made very, very clear. I almost feel like President Trump actually called him himself and made sure that the people that are in charge of Boeing that they take care of business. In particular, I'm getting there was a male, and he made sure that all of those were taken out of commission and that they were fixed again. And I hate to say this, but this is the truth. They care more about their profits and money than about the safety of people. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this mishap should have never happened in the first place. Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is conflict and struggle. I am getting, though, that even though that they've made the necessary upgrades and they have done what they needed to do, I am getting that there is going to be some delays and more delays because I'm getting that some aircrafts, even though they have done the upgrades, I feel like the CMEs are going to throw off the electronics in the computer systems. So even though they have done the necessary upgrades on the Airbuses, expect delays. Expect planes to be grounded because this is unprecedented. And the CMEs and the electronics and what's happening with our Schumann resonance and like I said, the solar flares, it's really going to, I just feel like there's unanticipated problems with electronics and the computer system. So expect grounding and delays in December. And we got the Six of Pentacles. Now, the Six of Pentacles is all about abundance and it's all about giving back. It's about being generous. It's about generosity and being generous. Okay, so I am getting that because there are going to be more delays. I'm getting that there are going to be more alternative ways to travel. I feel that maybe because of the delays, there might be more train routes, more alternative ways to travel. I am getting to that because of the delays with the airlines, they're going to try to give back with air discounts. There's going to be massive flight discounts. And again, I'm getting maybe like Amtrak will open up more routes. There'll be more sales, but I am getting there is going to be more generosity and more alternative ways to travel as well as more discounts because of the delays. Because I do feel there is going to be some conflicts. There are going to be some airlines and planes that are grounded. All right, so that's what I'm getting so far, Miss Laura. All right, so for the recap for whether or not it's going to be safe to travel, and if they did do all those needed repairs on the Airbuses, the Boeing, I'm getting yes, they did do the necessary repairs. However, we're going to find out that they didn't do what they should have done at the beginning because it was all about saving money. However, because President Trump called the head of Boeing and said, you need to get your shit together. Okay. People need to travel and we need to know that they're safe. I'm getting that the head of Boeing, she's got her pearls. She's clutching her pearls. I am getting that the head of Boeing was like, listen, this is not good for PR and it's all about the money. And unfortunately, like I said, it's all about the money more so about than the safety, according to Boeing and all the people of the business, the shareholders. Do expect some delays because I am getting the massive coronal ejections or emissions, whatever you want to call them, are going to cause some other unanticipated electronic malfunctions, and especially with the computers in the airplane. So we are going to have other planes that are going to be grounded and delays. And because of that, I'm getting that Amtrak, and there'll be other ways, other alternative methods to get to where you need to be during the holidays, as well as do think there's going to be some major airline discounts because to make up for the delays and the grounding of the planes. So there
And the
you go, Miss
inconvenience.
Laura. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I also think, based on what you saw with the cards there, that a lot of times this is going to be one of those Christmases when we don't see gas prices go up to take advantage of holiday travel, but they're going to be encouraged to go down so that people can
Hmm.
travel by their own personal vehicles as much as possible. So,
Yes,
yeah, I think we'll see that too.
definitely, definitely.
Well, folks, that wraps up this week's news review and Tarot 2, which was slightly spicy. We thank you for joining us and hope you come back again because we'll be here next week doing the same thing with whatever new topics come up. Bye.
Bye.